We rolled into camp late on a Friday evening, Phil just barely coasting in on fumes. We set up shop where the flowers grow and the millipedes roam. And every morning, we were waking up to the sounds of birds foraging on this dried up lake right next to our campsite. There were ring-billed gulls and great blue herons, ravens, and plenty of raptors. A bald eagle was spotted 2 mornings in a row, along with some red-tailed hawks, a Cooper's hawk, and even a pair of Sharpies scuffling with some crows. This lake is part of the Allegheny Reservoir. It was created in 1965 with the installation of the Kinzua Dam. The $108 million project reaped a 24-mile lake. The lake flooded some Indian reservations, as well as a few local towns, displacing many citizens. But no time to ponder this. We have a busy weekend ahead of us. This fall weather is perfect for hiking. Although there are very few flowers right now. I could be wrong, but I think this is a hepatica flower, one of the earliest blooms in the spring. There are some interesting ferns out, such as this broad beech fern. Despite the name, it is not always associated with beech trees. It is one of the rarer ferns, one that I don't see all that often. 'Tis the season for mushrooms. Got cancer? The Chinese'll tell you a turkey tail tincture'll set you straight. Hungry? The chicken of the woods can help with that. Or if you feel like vomiting, try the emetic rusula. There's also plenty of wolf's milk to go around. We also saw some northern tooths, clustered coral, shaggy foliotas, deer shrooms, and honey shrooms, and many others that will remain unnamed. I think anyone would feel good after all that mushroom action. We certainly are. Midway through the day, we take a break on the shore of the reservoir. It's quite scenic, but the real treasures lie beneath us. We're sitting on a bed of shale formed some 400 million years ago. Back then, during the Devonian period, this area was covered by a shallow sea. These rocks contain thousands of fossils, giving us clues to what life on this shallow seafloor was like. With untrained eyes, it is easy for us to distinguish brachiopods and ammonites, which are clam and snail-like critters, and crinoids, which are similar to feather dusters today. But there is probably much more that we are seeing and not comprehending. And perhaps buried within these rocks, there's some even more impressive fossils, like sharks or fish. But in the midst of our observations, lo and behold, some motorboat and sons of bitches.
Dude, this might be the Bassmasters, dude. Yeah. Front row seats.
The highlight of the trip was a 10-mile paddle down the Allegheny River. Within 5 minutes of entering the water, we were greeted by a bald eagle. That eagle wasn't the only bird, though. We spotted a few wood ducks, a flock of yellow-rumped warblers, those guys kept me occupied, even if getting me off course a little bit.
It's going the wrong way.
Bird, Tim. Get this bird.
Not only was Philbom carrying the essentials, but also spotting
Blue jay?
birds.
Blue heron?
Oh, is it? Yeah. Good spot.
All day. I got those all day.
Phil had a all day long. And old Baldy was still following us. He followed us throughout the entire excursion. And there were loads of common mergansers. Phil did take a spill at one point, losing his camera in the process. But winning the boat race must have been a little bit of consolation to him. Later on, back at camp, Phil ended up cooking his wet shoes before dinner. And as we started winding down, a bear swooped in for the remnants of our feast. And we'll be waiting till next spring for the next episode.